What happens to this subclavian artery? The subclavian artery is going to supply the structures of the upper limb. This artery now reaches the axilla by crossing the first rib. It passes superior to the first rib. So here is the outer border and this is the inner border of the first rib. Till here we call this as the subclavian artery. Once it crosses the outer border of first rib, this is named as the axillary artery because that has entered the axilla. Now it runs in the axilla. Here I would like to say another important relation to the subclavian vein, which is medial to the subclavian artery, which is ascending in that direction. Now while tracing the axillary artery, it continues to the arm, but while crossing this muscle, which is named as the teres major. It descends anterior to the teres major. While crossing the lower border of teres major, the axillary artery is no more named as the axillary artery. There it is named as brachial artery because now this part is in the arm. So the extent of the axillary artery is from the outer border of the first rib to the lower border of teres major. That extent is the axillary artery from the outer border of first rib to the lower border of teres major. This axillary artery is again divided into three parts by a muscle which is located anterior to it, and that muscle is pectoralis minor. There is a small triangular muscle attached to the anterior aspect of the thoracic region, deep to the pectoralis major muscle. So the fact to remember, the axillary artery extends from the outer border of first rib to the lower border of the teres major, and this axillary artery is divided into three parts. Medial to the pectoralis minor is named as the first part. Behind the pectoralis minor is named as the second part. Distal to the pectoralis minor is named as the third part. Branch of the axillary artery arising from the first part is one artery which is named as the superior thoracic artery. The branch arising from the second part is Thoraco-acromial artery and lateral thoracic artery. So these are two branches arising from the second part. I have made the dotted line here because it is behind the pectoralis minor. From the third part, it has got three branches. Anterior circumflex humeral artery. Another is posterior circumflex humeral artery, which is a little more thicker than the anterior circumflex humeral artery. Both these arteries are encircling the surgical neck of the humerus. The posterior circumflex humeral artery is accompanied by a very important branch of the posterior cord of brachial plexus named as the axillary nerve. The surgical neck posteriorly is related to the posterior circumflex humeral artery and the axillary nerve. Remember this point. This is very important clinically. And there is a relatively large artery arising from the third part of the axillary artery named as the subscapular artery. The subscapular artery is the largest of all the branches of the axillary artery, and the subscapular artery has a small circumflex branch, circumflex scapular artery, which encircles the lateral border of the scapula. We will see the brachial artery and its continuation later. That's all. Thank you.